deepest cuts of you lovely. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts of you lovely. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire, fire, fire. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith.
Hi, we're on.
Hi.
Hi, Eileen.
I'm
Welcome.
so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Just hang on. Let me greet everybody. Good morning, everyone. It's ReneMarie from ReneMarie Stroke of Love. Thank you so much for joining us on this challenging day, the challenging that's coming facing the world. As I said in my prior show, we really want to extend our prayers to everyone around the world. This is a really trying time and challenging time and really unknown for what's going to happen in the world. We've been asked to keep our distance from each other, but with this wonderful technology, and thank you to Jim, we're able to continue to do our stroke and aphasia and positive impact in the world. We hope that you will take this opportunity to be grateful for the gift of time that you have right now. I know it's a scary time because the schools are closed and parents are home and they really don't know what they're going to do with their children, and it really is. It's a challenging time, but we hope that you will look at the gift of time because some of us have to continue to work even though we're working from home. And even though you're not working from home, you don't have to travel in. And so there's a lot of gifts to be used. And on our last show with Josh Orlin, we spoke about using that time to think about your healthy eating style. To take care of yourself, because during this time it really is important to take care of your health, because we can't let our immune systems get down because this virus that's going around is hitting for people that have low immune systems. So it really is important. And on the other side, we really want to this show is about working on your inner self and trying to keep yourself balanced during this challenging time. And we got one of the best around to help us to navigate through that. And her purpose is performing peak performance success coaching for your life and career. And right now, I think our lives and careers are crossing. We have to kind of tie them all into one. So when we booked her, when Judy booked her, and by the way, hi Judy, say hi to Judy, everybody. Hi Judy, we're sorry. We've just been so focused on getting the show done, but Judy is home. We got to all stay in our zone. We are trying to get the Skype onto Judy's computer so that she can join us. We're unsure of how long this is going to be. Thank you to Jim. Jim, thank you so much for always being yourself and winging it with us.
Always my pleasure.
Thank you, Jim. But we're really grateful. We're really grateful. So we want to take a moment to just breathe and really enjoy the next hour with Eileen. And I'm going to let Eileen pronounce her last name because, as Judy would say, I'm horrible at last names and I don't want to screw it up. What is your last name, Eileen?
Lichtenstein.
Lichtenstein. Perfect. A beautiful name. And welcome, and thank you so much for joining us, even though we kind of had to shift a little bit of what our topic, not our topic, but the way the world is going. We really need to focus on that before we begin to talk about what your purpose is. So tell us a little bit about yourself first before we begin.
Sure. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandma, and my business is, I'll tell you more later, but it's all relevant because over the years I have implemented much of what I have learned in the trainings I've taken to be a professional, to become a professional in this field. And I only advocate not only what research has shown works and is important, also what works for me, for my family, and my clients.
Right. So, Eileen, let's delve into the coronavirus, okay? And, I know you talk about coaching for life and career, but really they both kind of cross path and intertwining now. And so I know this is all new, but what would you recommend? What are your first thoughts about what people can do to stay balanced and stay positive and really continue to live? So
Sure.
Say a little bit about that. And I know this is off the cuff because this is all new to all of us.
Yes. And I've always read, and I truly believe, and I've heard from experts, not just, through words, but I've heard it through experts, including people in the medical field, that one of the biggest stressors for lowering an immune system is stress itself.
Yeah.
So knowing that, I personally, and try to pass this on, have less stress. And it's one of the definitions of stress is actually feeling overwhelmed and feeling out of control. Well, the virus is a perfect example of how one could feel those both ways. And if we do anything and everything in our own personal power, within the boundaries that have been given us by the medical field, by the government, and whomever it may be, if we do whatever we can personally do and feel confident that we're doing it, that's all we can really do. So with that said, any feelings of distress that are exaggerated about everything else is only making us lowering our own immune system. So it's kind of backward circular that we're not lowering our stress if we're feeling that stress. So therefore, it's important to know what you as an individual and your loved ones can do within those boundaries and do it. Right. So one thing.
So what? I'm sorry. Maybe this is
okay.
But with Josh, who was just on the show, and I saw you were watching us. We were talking about planning for your when you go shopping, to really write up a plan. So what would you recommend to everybody nowadays that they get up in the morning, they have everybody at home, What would be the first thing you would recommend to each individual, especially the parents and the leaders of the family? What would you recommend to do first to kind of like navigate your day?
If possible, to be awake before all the others awaken, and just kind of get yourself together, so to speak, while possibly still in bed or just sitting up near the bed, and feeling grateful for everyone and everything that is good in your life.
Yeah, yeah. Gratitude plays such a huge part. Let's talk about gratitude. What is gratitude like? Because I know Oprah Winfrey, I know like all the biggest leaders in the world, including yourself, talk about gratitude being such an important key to starting your day. And why is that, Eileen? Can you explain that? Is there a reason behind that?
There certainly is, because in the moment anyone is feeling gratitude, it's impossible. It's been shown, research has shown scientifically, it's impossible to feel sadness in the same moment that you're feeling gratitude. And if you believe that, because the experts are saying it and have said it for quite a long time, then it can be very, very helpful in reducing stress. And just throughout the day, if you're feeling that you're going back into that sadness or focusing on some negative points, just stop and maybe do some relaxation breaths, the diaphragmatic breathing, and think of
diaphragmatic breathing, just because I know that I know it, but the audience may not.
That's great.
They may need it right now. So help them navigate through that.
Sure. So if you would put one hand on your middle, kind of under your ribs, and one hand on your upper chest. And as you inhale, you feel the lower area around your stomach, around your belly, expand as you inhale through your nose, if it's possible, if it's not stuffy. And it rises like a balloon, so to speak, filling up with air before your chest does. This way, your chest and your heart receive more oxygen. So it travels up through your head, and just sustain the inhalation as long as you can comfortably. And when you're ready, begin to exhale, and it recycles down, so to speak, so that the chest deflates before the belly's the last thing. And it's really kind of easy when you practice it. So it's actually babies and pets breathe like this naturally. And somewhere along the way of walking and talking and stress, we have mostly naturally gone back to the chest breathing, which is not stress reducing at all. It's almost like chest breathing in the extreme would be asthma, right? Where you're almost hyperventilating,
right?
So just practicing, if you want to belly breathe while you're lying down and thinking grateful things, that's kind of perfect for first thing in the morning, centering.
So, and I hear in my head, like all those frightened people, especially today, nowadays, they're unsure of their income, restaurants that own, airlines, hotels, the sports world. I mean, there's so much fear of not being able for that income. And I could just hear them saying, yeah, it's easy for you to say. It's easy for you to say. It's easy for you to say. It's easier said than done. Like, I just keep hearing that.
It's true. It is easier said than done. And go on, sorry to interrupt.
No. I just wanted to have this conversation with you. So let's talk about the quote, you know, some things what's the quote, that to handle things that you can handle, you know, I forget what the prayer is. It's a prayer that says, you know, don't focus on things you can't have no control over, but focus on things you can to make yourself better.
I have a list of quotes here.
Okay, read them away. Read them.
Okay.
So are these mantras that they
these
just something that they could read to kind of get their mind off of?
Yes, they are quotes about happiness and gratefulness, and you could find them on my blog post recently called Gratefulness Counteracts Sadness. That's what we're talking about here.
Right.
And fear, I may add.
Right.
So you can find it to read on my blog post, which is balanceandpowerblog.com, or just go to my website, balanceandpower.com, and on the sidebar there's a click on for the blog. So it's the most recent one, and they're from famous people, from Tolstoy to Saint Teresa, you know.
I love Saint Teresa.
Yeah, so she says, I take care to appear happy, and especially to be so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when times are really tough, I create personal mantras. That's words or phrases put together. For instance, I am being especially agreeable and helpful today, and I will take a walk with the mantra, inhaling those words. This is something else we can all do, and exhaling negativity and fear. And the exercise itself, if it's outside, works even more, because especially now in the many parts of the country, in the Northeast, I know, the buds are beginning to bloom. It's early spring,
right,
from the warmer weather, I suppose, and the birds are singing more. So just breathing and saying those helpful words to yourself and releasing with each exhalation fear and negativity, it can be very, very helpful.
Right. And you have to find your way, because there is no choice in this. This isn't something we have a choice about. This has been brought to us unknowingly, and just been evolving to, and we pray that that the worst doesn't come, like has happened in other countries.
Yes.
It's very, very, very scary. And I as in control, people look at my life because I'm on the camera and I'm all over the internet, and when I sing, and one of my goals and one of my visions and one of my purposes in life is to really bring those that are down like yourself up. But that doesn't mean that my life or your life has been so easy. It's just that we try to live the way we're trying to get others to lift themselves up by, to believe in themselves, to be grateful in the morning. Where I remember Lynn Grabhorn said, you gotta fake it till you make it.
Yes.
You gotta. Yes. Did you ever read Lynn Grabhorn's book? Lynn Grabhorn, great book.
I don't think so. I will. I just want to say something to that point, fake it till you make it, because when we smile and laugh, it's an immediate stress reducer. The muscles in the face change in a way that is supposed to be stress reducing. So I learned this pretty early on, and I would just be feeling out of sorts or possibly sad. And I remember this, going to a mirror in my house and forcing myself to smile, because I knew this thing, and I looked so ridiculous to myself that I burst out laughing. And
Right.
guess what? I felt better, even though it was like really a kind of a silly thing to do. And now I would fully recommend that to anyone. Even do it with your kids. Let's go up to the mirror and pretend that we're in the happiest place. That's another thing. Visualizations. We all have some kind of, I'm quoting here, happy place.
Right.
Where we've been maybe on a vacation at a local park or beach, or just in your own backyard or wherever you may be, and just imagine it in your mind with all your sensory imaging. That means the look of it, the scent of the air, possible sounds if they're pleasant, like maybe the tide rolling in and out or birds singing, and so on. And get that very clear above you, maybe even a little slideshow.
Right.
And close your eyes and feel safe in a seat, a chair, or lying down on your sofa or in your bed, and allow yourself to float on up into that, call it private vacation spot.
Yeah.
And allow yourself, without thinking I'm allowing myself, no, just prep yourself beforehand and allow yourself to feel as relaxed in that environment as you did back whenever it was.
Yeah.
So without any thoughts of past or future things or people that may be stressing you. And it's kind of natural for those thoughts, the negative thoughts, to kind of creep in at times and float through. So just as I say, see it like a passing cloud. You see it, you say, oh, a cloud, and let it move on. Let it go.
That's like Dr. Wayne Dyer, In the Gap. Did you ever hear that?
Yes, sure.
Meditation. And he states exactly what you state, that you have to get into that zone where you're really not thinking about anything. It's called In the Gap.
Yeah.
So, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, I know we're going to talk later on a little bit about your business, but if they need help in navigating through this, where could they reach you? Could they get you via email? Could they get you on the phone? Give your information now, because I know that sometimes we have to be off the beaten cuff because of this strange time, and somebody may be thinking, yes, oh, I got to contact her.
Yes.
Get in touch with you.
Thank you. First of all, my website, Balance and Power, balanceandpower.com, and all my contact info is there. You can fill out a little contact form on that gets emailed to me, and I will call you if you want me to, or just respond with email. You can call me. I offer a complimentary phone consult for about 20 minutes, and we could talk about whatever you want around this or something else, and explain how my sessions online more and more now. And also, I see a few people in my office in Nassau County in the RXR Plaza. I rent a space that is extremely clean. I actually met a client there yesterday, and I was very pleased to see how, even on a Saturday, we all, the practitioners who rented the spaces, brought our wipes and our cleaners, and we wiped everything down when we left. So during the week, the office staff takes care of that, but on the weekends. So, so if you feel like traveling and live in Nassau County, it's right in the RXR Plaza across from the Coliseum over there. Anyway, call me 516-623-4353. That's a landline. And if I'm not picking up, leave me a message. When is a good time to call you? So that's